My name is Rhapsody and welcome back to Monster Train 2. Oh, Woken Underlegion. I mean, you can do stuff with these. You can absolutely do stuff with these. You can certainly do a bunch of stuff with the Animus of Will with Multi-Strike 2 by base and Glow Up, already propagating the base deck, as well as position modification. That's really important. Sometimes I don't have enough access to that. Especially in clan combinations like Awoken and Umbra especially also cares about this a lot, where you really care about who your frontline unit is. 2 Vine Grasps, also position fixing. Neat. Seraph Return's Chosen of Entropy means that I'm going to have an answer for silence at the end of the game, but that should be a-okay. Malika's Shifting Pyre. I just love this. It gets me to draft so many cards I otherwise wouldn't. Let's look at our artifact first. We've got Wildenton. Ugh. Wildenton's our lead. Do you have to be? Maybe I could go Thorn Incant, because the Thorn Incant version has been updated since I last played it. Now it's an ability every turn. I think you can generate a Thorn. Let's actually have a quick check of that. Wildenton, oh, Wildenton. There you are. Needle Bloom. Oh, it's every 3 turns. And you add 3 sting spells. Yeah. I mean, that's not actually that interesting. Look, I could go 3 levels of Strangler, but there's really no reason to go 3 levels of Strangler, you hear? Especially when you could get Predator, and Predator just adds quick and an enchant for quick to the entire floor. I mean, honestly, if I could, I would probably go 1 level in each. But after you pick 2 different ones, they only ever offer you additional levels in those 2. Yeah, okay. Fungi gain 2 additional damage per stack. In a world where I don't have any fungi in the base deck, I should probably just take the Sketches of Salvation and figure out what to do with it. On the turn after deployment phase. Great, so I do have the ability still to get the Animus exactly where I want it. Yeah, Strangler and Predator. I do like having access to Sweep, but you can get that a couple different ways in Awoken. Quick enchant, quick. Saves a lot of health on the floor as well. And I'm going to be summoning another unit on the floor as well. Okay, yeah, give me Predator. I'm going to be summoning an additional unit on the floor because of the Sketches of Salvation. Yep, -1 energy per turn should be okay. We want to play bottom line because we're up against a Strail. I'm pretty sure the additional unit, I think it goes bottom up. I think we have to get a Spear Steward on the bottom line here. Yeah. Okay, so the top floor did not get a unit. Great, that makes sense. Vine Grasp. Drop Vengeful Shard. Unfortunately, Animus of Will is going to take a huge amount of damage to attacking here. Just kind of rough draw on that one. Oh, perfect. If I Vine Grasp the Fallen Champion forward, then I don't have the Animus of Will attacking spikes. Oh, get him. I'm going to do double Root Seeds. I need damage on the Animus of Will if I really want to be able to take the fight here. And hey, the additional draw is certainly not going to hurt. Yep, and then Glow Up to move Astrail to the front line, as well as add additional sap to you. Perfect. Ooh, that fight could have gone pretty badly. I need some health. Give me Steel Enhancer. Holdover Sharpen? I think not. Racer Sharp Edge. It's the opposite of the thing I need. I need health. That's damage, but it is a lot of damage. Spell Chain Wildwood Sap. All I'd have to do is reduce your cost, and then you effectively, as soon as I draw you, like if I give you Intrinsic, you become just, you know, a full setup package for a frontline unit. But that relies on Intrinsic as well. Sharpen, you rarely want to add much more than 6 spikes to a single target. Like, you care about 5 spikes, and then the next number you care about is theoretically infinite. Give me Razor Sharp Edge. Oh, Proliferate cost reduction as well. That's great. All I need to do is find something Proliferate can do in this deck, and then, oh, we're off to the races. There's a Merchant of Steel in the second area. There's a world where I want to look at 2 Merchants of Steel, especially if I have the ability to get a Mini Stone on Animus of Will, because then I can get Animus of Will, 2 copies of it on Wildenton's floor, as well as another upgrade, as well as another unit getting summoned. So that's just a lot of quick damage that we have on the bottom line, mitigating a lot of damage to Wildenton. Merchant... like, yeah, there's definitely stuff I can do with a Merchant Magic, but I don't think I have the spells to really justify going there. Animus of Will. Endless is there as well. Oh, well, I mean, that's a Husk Hermit with Sweep and Multi-Strike. And you get quick by default by being on the bottom line with Wildenton. Yeah, I mean, damn. Yes. I think it's appropriate to also just pump your damage, right? I don't need to give you quick. I don't need to hold on to anything for that. I could reroll here, and I think I do, because Mini Stone Animus of Will is still good, because I could theoretically go Capacity as my first boss, and then have Wildenton, 2 Animuses of Will, 1 Husk Hermit, so that's like a lot of punch damage for single targets from the Multi-Strike from the Animus of Will. A lot of AoE damage already from the Husk Hermit, noting this isn't high enough to take care of the... I'm not even going to run into one. It's not high enough to take care of some of the Cherubs. There's a 60 HP Cherub. So maybe a little additional damage needed. Maybe 1 Razor Sharp Edge on the Husk Hermit. Maybe equipment. This is a giant detour away from the fact to say that on a 7 capacity line, we could have Wildenton, a mini-stoned Animus of Will, another mini-stoned Animus of Will, a Husk Hermit, and then another unit summoned randomly by the Sketches of Salvation. Sick. Absolutely nasty. That shouldn't have worked out for me. That was a really greedy play. I do like that it feels like the game listened to me and was like, look, you went to the effort of explaining what you wanted to do with this. For pity's sake, I'll give it to you. Thanks, game. It's fun. You've just done that, but I will immediately forsake it by setting up elsewhere. You go top line, right? No. I'm fine with up second mid. Yeah. Root seeds. And Glow Up does nothing for me here, so. But I really need to get some buffs on my units. 1 Razor Sharp Edge, and I think Husk Hermit's pretty much done. Except for the Root Seeds. The Root Seeds are still best targeted there, I believe. Nothing to proliferate. I have way too much energy. Beautiful. Get him! A little bit of health support obviously wouldn't go astray here. Hey, that's a Wildwood Sap with Consume and Intrinsic. Ooh, Steel Enhancer holdover though. That is a really good buff for Animus of Will. Supports their health and their damage. It's like, it's a lot of additional damage. Well, is it enough to really justify taking holdover? And didn't I just ask for Wildwood Sap? I could even propagate Intrinsic. Sorry, I could even propagate Regen. I read the wrong keyword. Hey, speaking of propagating, let's get Consume Spell Chain Propagate 2 on all units. Woo! All I need is a floor-wide buff. That's all I need. And then we're absolutely going to use it. Animus of Will, look, obviously going to Merchants of Steel until I see a large stone for you is definitely a direction. Wildington? I don't think enchants on our units are removed by silence, so I could just give you a... What's it? The Silence Shield. Can't remember his name for the life of me. Under Legion, chance that I'm running like another floor. Real unlikely. When's our next Merchant of Steel? Yikes, it's before Kale. What's my tolerance for upgrades here, though? Because, like, really, it's only the Animus of Will as a target, and it's Animus of Will with the hopes of hitting a dupe space. I guess in this Merchant of Trinkets, which would mean that I'm going to this Merchant of Magic. If this Merchant of Steel was next to a dupe space, I think I would be able to do this differently. But there's no dupe space next to a Merchant of Steel for the rest of the run after that fact, so I think I have to take this Merchant of Steel if I really want to exploit that. Always lucky, never unlucky. It really doesn't matter what Under Legion unit this is, it's really unlikely I use it. Moral Mistress with Dualism by default. No. But I am going to start to cut stewards from the deck, so eventually I do want something just summoned on the bottom line for free. And maybe that should be a Moral Mistress. Gives me the ability to use all of my consume cards for a bunch of decay. Yeah, okay, no, I've come around on it. Whether or not you need Spike 6, that's a completely different question. A completely different answer. Oh. Like Mother Seed, at the end of combat, create a permanent copy of a random non-champion card in your deck. Absolutely not. Have some blood. You can have 10 Pyre health, and in one combat's time, I want to see a better version of you. Show me what you can really do. I should be able to sacrifice another 10 health after this pretty easily. Oh, the absolute dupability of this Animus of Will. Moral Mistress wasn't on the bottom line. Dang. If only. Yeah, I mean, Animus of Will, you can definitely be pushed forward and you'll be comfortable with that. I want to cast as many spells on the next floor as possible, I think, this turn. Maybe with the exception of Razor Sharp Edge on the bottom line, just for helping to push down backliners. Give you additional decay and myself additional regen at the same time. Popping all of the proliferates there. the Vengeful Shard as well. Yeah, I can just let you manage that on top lane. Couple additional revenge triggers for Husk Hermit, and then boom, I can even move the Wildington back into the front. Actually, I can even do that with Glow Up. Propagate some additional regen at the same time. Okay, that's most of the boss's HP, and that's the rest of it. There we go. Next main thing is going to be cutting the stewards. Oh, I don't think I need consume intrinsic black quick, but like just because of what I'm already doing, but agnostic of run, this is an incredible card to look at. Spreading Spores, restore 13 health, apply regen 3, spikes 3. Yeah, I mean, look, it's propagable, it's propagatable, you can propagate those. That said, you don't really care about propagating the additional regen and spikes on the backliners. The things that we're looking to propagate are going to be things like damage shield, rage, things that don't care about your position. Unearthed Treasure, however, consume spell chain, return a random spell from your consume pile that is not Unearthed Treasure if there are at least 5 cards. Return 1 more. That's going to be some great card draw for us at some point. Hello. Bulbabello. 3 Ember, 2 Size, Regen 6, Spike 6, Conduit 5. On Extinguish, apply this unit's buff stacks to friendly units. Now I know just what I said about regen and spikes, but add Conduit to the mix and suddenly I'm interested. So bottom line, what would I have to do? Wildington, Husk Hermit, Animus of Will, Animus of Will. In order to guarantee Sketches of Salvation plays Balmabello on the bottom line, I would also then need to cut all of the Spear Stewards and Shield Stewards, as well as Moral Mistress. Not all of the Spear and Shield Stewards, actually. I can put Moral Mistress on the second line, because that's 4 Ember. But I do have to cut all of the Stewards. I'd committed to going to this Merchant of Magic, and then that Merchant of Trinkets, which has an Unstable Vortex. So by then, I'll remove the Stewards. I'll remove 2 with the Unstable Vortex and 2 elsewhere. It's got to be capacity for the initial deployment. Like Mother's Bloom, at the end of combat, create a permanent copy of a non-champion card in your deck. There's also the more unstable version of this, which is at the end of each turn, or at the end of each turn, at the start of each turn, duplicate the first card you play. Which, honestly, I think I might get away with a lot more value from this right now, rather than waiting another combat. So every fight, I can get like a copy of Wildwood Sap that's intrinsic, so it doesn't even have cost to draw into my opening hand. And it's just another consume spell that's already played for the sake of Unearthed Treasure. I worry about filling my deck with trash. Let's have a look at the full Life Mother's Relic. Where are we? Oh, event. Life Mother's Remnant. Create a permanent copy of the first non-champion card played each turn. Yeah. Each turn. Do I want that at all? I'm trying to argue my way out of it. I think I can probably have a much more consistent run by not taking that. But also, there is a world where, like, you know, it's literally Merchant of Magic that I'm about to go to. So our Unearthed Treasure is probably going to have a -1 cost on it. Which then means this becomes a 0 energy draw 4, which is probably the strongest card that I can include into this deck. And especially if the cards that it's consistently hitting are themselves 0 cost, it's a way to get a huge amount of spell triggers, consume triggers, a bunch of additional health and regen. It's very easy to then exploit these. I mean, the smallest possible way would be recognizing that Moral Mistress says every time you consume a card deals 16 damage to enemy units. So, like, there is a version of this deck where I go direct into using Moral Mistress, Unearthed, and Wildwood Sap to just fill the deck with so many consume cards that enemies can't leave the floor without decaying. I don't think that's the one I want to do. I think I want to do the much more calm version of it, where I just dupe a couple of Wildwood Saps and I exploit Unearthed Treasure, but we don't have to make that everything. Because I also do fear that if I go all in on this... I'm trying to convince myself so hard. It feels wrong. Maybe I'm pushing upstream. Maybe this is just go crazy again. Go for the unstable version of this artifact. The first turn, I get to... It doesn't work in deployment phase, right? It's just each turn. It doesn't work in deployment phase, right? Because if it does, it gives me the dupe of the Atoms of Will, but then it also screws my Sketches of Salvation play later. Fine. I shouldn't be doing this. That's okay, I got Fire Remains here immediately as well. Oh boy. So this is dangerous, adding another intrinsic. But I like it, because I could make, like, Proliferate intrinsic. And Spell Chain. So this becomes, like, set up on the first turn ridiculously. Reroll here doesn't really make any sense. Yeah, pretty much. That's great. That's great. We just take that and run away. Yeah, Stoke Lemel. Disables enchants. I always feel like that does that to enemies, but it doesn't do it to allies. But maybe it's because there's some allies who have things that should be enchants that aren't coded as enchants, and it bypasses those. In the same way that, like, Transcendent bypasses silence triggers on its floor, which I learned in a comment recently. Thank you for leaving that. It does that because it's not coded as a summon trigger in order to prevent it from being a target from summon trigger doublers, and also, you know, further Transcendent copying the effect of further Transcendent. Bloodthirsty Blade. Look, that's a huge amount of additional damage on the bottom line if I just take a Bloodthirsty Blade and go. I don't think I need Zone of Silence with the setup we have. Yeah, this is unfortunate, but I'll take Predator too. Because I don't want to give up on the possibility of still that branching out to have Sweep as well. Nobles enemy units gain multi-strike. And 200 additional damage. Yes. Yes, they should be dead before they get to play. Ideally. Well, that's the plan. Well, realistically, the Husk Gambit should be my frontliner on this bottom. It's got more health. It's just I really can't let it die. But also, I am about to start giving additional regen, so it's got even a revenge trigger. Like, it's got all the makings of a frontliner. Yeah, there we go. That's much more reasonable. Oh my god. Yeah, we got Bomber Bello on the bottom line. Woo! So this is super cool for a bunch of reasons. Not least of which being the Bomber Bello can now be in the front line and is ready to just bomb regen, spikes, and conduit across the entire floor. Oh man, I really want to play the Calcified Ember art, but glow up? If I'm honest with myself, it's not necessary right now. I just want to. I just want to play it. Easy collector. Bloodthirsty Blade a little too late, unfortunately, but okay. Oh, hell yeah. Come on, kill Bomber Bello. Free Bomber Bello from their skin. As soon as that happens, everyone else gets a bunch of regen. Yay! Bramble Lash. Intrinsic, deal damage to the front enemy equal to 10 times spike on friendly units. No. Focus Growth, restore 20 health twice and draw 2 additional cards next turn. It costs 1 less than it otherwise would. I mean, I do like having a little access to healing. I'm gonna need a little access to healing at some point. Oh, wow. Well, I mean, that's a Spike of the Legion with Permafrost on it. The ability to propagate 2x on a single unit. In a deck where I have a Bomber Bello. Absolutely. So this is Merchant of Trinkets. I've got money for it. I need to remove 2 cards. Oh, Void Fragment. Hell yeah. So I'm going to be adding good cards, and I'm going to be removing the worst cards. Pretty good. Once deployment phase, draw a room card from your deck, reduces cost to 0. Do I don't have a room card yet, so very happy to take that. Shadow's Sheath is also pretty cool, but I've done a lot of Shadow's Sheath cards recently. Move Spear Steward and Spear Steward. And then I will move the Shield Steward. And it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The other Shield Steward. And then my dupe is Animus of Will. Great. Oh, that Titan Skin 4 is actually going to be surprisingly annoying, but we are very far ahead of the power curve at the moment, so I don't really have to worry about that. There's no way Life Mother's is triggering this turn. All right. We got trouble, friends. Yeah, that's gonna be a problem. It's okay. We can, oh boy. Look. Maybe you can't keep that one. Got him. So, it doesn't work how I thought it did. I guess Sketches of Salvation is still going to be useful, so that's nice. Sadly, my Bombabello consistency is low, but hey, there he is. He doesn't care. He's still here. Let's drop Wildwood Sap on... Oh, hang on. That is not the best target in this hand. It would be Proliferate, Proliferate, Proliferate. Actually, sorry, no, I only have to play the first one, then I play a Wildwood Sap, then I continue proliferating. Good lord, this is difficult. Proliferate, then Wildwood Sap on you, then proliferate, then proliferate, then proliferate. Well, that seems pretty good to me. And then, how about a Spike of the Legion, proliferating on you, and then Vine Grasp you to the front line, I'll Vine Grasp you one more time so you die. Done. You're going to be given 22 spikes, 22 regen, and 21 conduit to the entire floor. Ooh, Unearthed! Oh no, that's... Oh no, but I do want to dupe you. Good lord, I didn't even zero cost the Unearthed treasure. Did I have something else I needed to do in the previous area? What happened with that? Oh, I'm losing all of my damage on that blow. I can't be casting that many spells down there. I'm just gonna dupe a single card in the deck and then let that one go. Kiss that one and throw it back. If I gotta dupe the first card I played, I can do a lot worse than a Proliferate. Or then a Razor Sharp Edge. Do the additional Unearthed treasure. Can't really do too much with it though. There you go. Why not have some root seeds? Oh wow. No, I will not permanently dupe a Vengeful Shard. The muscle memory is odd. That's a pretty good Proliferate though. Regen's doing them pretty well. As much as I do want to go to a Merchant of Steel, what do I want from Merchant of Steel? Is it only dualism on Bombabello? Because I think it might be only dualism on Bombabello, and really, I'm going to be playing spells much more commonly, so I should probably make my spells better. Awakening Thicket would be a first room card, so it would be drawn and deployed. Friendly units have 20 plus math health, and restore 10 health and resolve. Honestly, yeah, I think that really helps their survivability. Fertile Ground. 2 Ember, consume spell chain. Spawn one more for each card in your consume pile. It's pretty accessible, actually. It's already got consume though, so I can't consume remove from it and lower its cost by 2, which is what I'd really want to do with that spell. Because I don't want Unearthed Treasures just bringing back really costly spells constantly. So maybe I just take Dig Deep. Spawn 1 for every 10 cards in the deck, spawn 1 more. Already has consume. Wouldn't otherwise as well. So let's remove cards that I unfortunately play that I don't really want to be propagating in this deck. I could just remove an Enemies of Will every fight. I think that's probably a really dumb idea. I could just remove the Moral Mistress, though, who I'm not actually using. But I just went and got all these consume cards for her, and now I'm gonna throw her away like yesterday's trash? Not likely! Let's head into the Merchant of Magic now. Permanently remove consume. Interesting. Interesting. -2 cost gain consume. Wow, neither of them especially good here. I don't really want to remove consume from things. It's kind of important they do, actually. Ooh, Spell Chain's sick, though. I like Spell Chain for Wildwood Sap here for additional HP on setup. I'd probably dupe that like once, but then it becomes really, really useful every time I pull it out of a Unearthed Treasure. I also want to reduce the cost of one of the Unearthed Treasures, maybe even 2 of them if I can get it. I can get it, yeah. So Permafrost 1, negative cost, and also just negative cost another, because I really want the turn that I play that to be very, very low cost. Boiler Room. If I really wanted to, I could cut Awakening Thicket, put Boiler Room in the deck, and then just have a lot more energy. I don't think that's actually what I need, though. Meat Shields. Husk Hermit kind of wants to wear both Meat Shield and Bloodthirsty Blade. So I could hit up a Merchant of Arms and merge those two. Definitely don't need Empyrean Wells. I've got enough Empyrean Wells, thank you. No, I've got enough regen that I don't need Resolve gain 10. In fact, Resolve gain 10 is going to be a lot worse than what I'm capable of. Don't play Awakening Thicket first, Raps. Otherwise, it would have been duped. Bombello on the second floor, unfortunately. Okay. Let's get an additional Wildwood Sap, because this is important. And then I will have a full hand of cards in the opening turn. No one else is really going to need regen here because Spikes is not occurring on the bottom line. So I will just donate all of this to the front line, even though Proliferate could hit better if I was putting it on more targets. If I could just get an artifact that says something like, I know this isn't, this is a Hellhorned artifact, but something along the lines of, when you spawn a unit, it has 3 rage. Like, just anything that I can start working with. Unearthed Treasure brings back a huge amount of 0-cost cards at this point. Like, that's... It's really going to prove why we got him. There we are. Okay, that's 48 regen at the end of every turn for the Husk Hermit with 80 health in the front line. Razor Sharp Edge is one of the better ways in the deck for adding additional damage to my Animuses of Will at the moment, unfortunately. There you go, a big old spike of the Legion. That'll be our dupe. I also want to see if I can get away with not playing any more cards so I don't have to dupe anything else. Oh no, but duping that cost reduced on Earth Treasure as well as this Dig Deep, it's pretty big. Especially because the Dig Deep spawns 5 troops because of how many cards I have in my deck, and it's only going to turn out to be more. Oh, there it is. Hell, let's give some regen to you. Proliferated a couple times, and these proliferates now are adding additional troops, so suddenly we've got 21 troops on the fungi stack on the bottom line. Huge unearthed treasure hit. Just keep proliferating. You had 1 decay when you came down here. Let's see how much you have by the end of it. All right, you're all the way up to 19. Nice. I still have a lot of fear about how we deal with 500 health enemies. If you'll note, this bottom line, it might do 500 damage to a single target. 2 targets? Ooh, no, that's a lot less likely, unfortunately. I'm going to elect to play no cards this turn because I don't want any of these cards duped more than I want to not have to dupe any of those cards. Because the Razor Sharp Edge, while it is the best damage that I had access... Oh, rough. Do the same again here. While it is the best damage I had access to for a while, it's not going to scale anywhere near appropriately versus 500 health enemies. And again, we'll wait on this one. I'm not really sapping my enemies at all, unfortunately. So no to Deadly Variant, Cycle of Life, Double Stack, apply 10 health and spike 16. The value of spikes in health has dramatically dropped in this deck. I don't really need draw, but I kind of want energy so that I can just play out more of the Animuses. I have to go to the Merchant of Arms. That's not the kind of thing we were hoping for. I need to find some sort of damage that the Mitosis, the Animuses' will can really appropriately contribute to. Stasis Chamber gives 60 extra damage to one of them each turn. Not bad. Iron Tongue turns one of them into another sweep unit, which they don't usually not all of them end up getting to 30 damage, so it certainly still does something. I'm gonna take both of those. Upgrade to deployment. I think the Bloodthirsty Blade added to deployment is also really important. I could also dupe a Bloodthirsty Blade so that an Animus can hold one. And the more I think about it, the more that seems like a really good idea. It's 120 additional damage to the floor. I can't turn that down when, I'm complaining about 500 being a wall. There you go, Strangler. You will now have On Strike apply Rooted, which means that units aren't gonna leave your floor. They just stay there. They just stay. I want to remove another card, but it's pretty expensive at the moment. There's a Merchant of Trinkets that could completely change this run. Please don't give me... Yeah. No! That's exactly what I wanted you to not do! I can take the Mark of Invasion. The health on these units, I might not be able to take similarly. Oh boy. Sadly annoying to have to watch the Animus of Will die on this floor without being able to take down the next line. I can probably spare one of my casts for that floor, actually. Never mind. I'll save them. There you go. One, and it saves the entire floor. How about I do that? Almost got the Avowed Gladiator down. Almost. Well, thankfully you are rooted here until I say so. Oh, Dig Deep is incredible dupe target here for us. I'm happy to take a single Animus off the field while I know that I'm going to be just keeping that unit there. Like 4 more troops. You dig deep again twice, then off the treasure. Wildwood Sap now for the stack. Perfect! Although that entire time I should have also been getting additional decay triggers on the enemy. Oops. So as soon as I dupe my first card, then I deploy the decay triggers. Great, just so I never forget. Decay and decay. Then I will know for sure that I am proliferating their value as well. No! Oh, it's the perfect unearthed treasure. Thank you. I'll have another copy of you, and you can give me another copy of Proliferate, and then that gives me another copy of Proliferate, another copy of Proliferate, another copy of Proliferate, and then maybe I play a copy of Proliferate. Yeah. As much as I was trying to push uphill against this is definitely doing stuff. The Life Mother's Remnant just absolutely filling the deck with all of these proliferates, and especially the additional copies of Unearthed Treasure. It's doing stuff. I can dupe the Bloodthirsty Blade. No, I can't dupe the Bloodthirsty Blade. Not in this hand where the Unearthed Treasure also is. The Iron Tongue's actually way worse than not having the Iron Tongue right now. Getting 6 troops out of the... There is a huge combo as well between Life Mother's Pyre and a bunch of the effects in Underlegion that care about how many cards you have in your deck, as well as how many consume cards you have, because those are the easiest cards to do. I'm just pleased with it. I want to say I'm quietly pleased with it, but there's nothing quiet about the way I'm talking about this. I'm very loudly, extremely pleased with this. Oh, this additional copy is not ephemeral, so I can just wait and play this additional copy next turn, which means that having a Permafrost Unearthed Treasure and Light Mother's Pyre means every turn I get to draw 4 additional cards from Unearthed Treasure. Thanks, Unearthed Treasure! What a good draw relic. It's a what? No, you must be mistaken. It's a draw relic. I'm pretty sure I know what a draw relic is. There you go. Why don't you hold that? Who needs rage when you stack like this? All right, let's see if we've got enough. Hey, got him. Oh, nail bite. Result 20 health descend does give me some feeling that maybe I would be able to descend like Balmabello down to the bottom line or something like that, but maybe I should put a copy of that in this deck. Alright, yeah, fine. Oh, Tome of Evergrowth. Consume spell chain, give the ability Evergrowth to a friendly unit. So that would be really good for getting those units down to the bottom line. And also, Fungi in a Suit would be really good as well for when I have a giant troop stack, just give it a ridiculous amount of armor. This doesn't feel necessary, whereas... Yeah, my health is not a problem that we need to account for. Health is solved. The only argument I can really see for Merchant of Steel is dualism for Balmabello. Although intrinsic upgrades aren't even worth that much to me anymore. It'd just be Unstable Vortex for removals, but... Hilarious. Friendly units gain +1 damage per stack of spikes. Honestly, that makes Balmabello a lot better, because if Balmabello does end up getting to get on that bottom line, then he's gonna give a bunch of damage to the floor. When his spikes propagate to the floor, that'll give him damage. Honestly, I'll take it. Spikes deal an additional damage per stack. Now that's irrelevant. Shroom units apply decay 1 to enemy units on summon. That's ridiculous. Start a turn, add a sting spell to your hand. I really don't need more cards in hand, thank you. Thank you kindly. I mean, spell chain is never wrong. or straight up never plays from the deck. There's a world where I could dupe Bombabello and use that to try and fish for Bombabello more on the bottom line, but... Hell, I could even dupe another Bloodthirsty Blade just to be prepared for the bottom line. I think I have enough copies of the correct Unearthed Treasure that those will come in time. You know what? Yeah, give me the additional Bombabello, just in case I can get two of you to explode on one another, doing the additional doubling. And for our final two removals... I don't know, I feel like it should probably be just Animus of Will at this point. But I will always just have somewhere to play a one-size Animus of Will if I do draw it in the middle of the cycle. Whereas, like, if I have to dupe a Root Seeds, I might become sick. Yeah. I didn't even get the Bloodthirsty Blade. Oh no, I've got too many deployable Animus of Will. No! Oh, that's a Bombabello on the bottom floor, and that's another Bombabello on another floor. Okay, that's huge. Now, I've also got Tome of Evergrowth. So you can fly down here. Excuse me. So that you can fly down. Excuse me. Apply ability flight. Okay, so look, it looked a little like a different card, and I thought it was Flight Tome. Okay? Okay? Sure. It says something completely different, and it does something completely different. How was I to know? It's not like it was legible. It's not like I could read. Ah, screw it then. I'll use it to do its intended. There you go, Big Sap. Get Big Sapped. Okay, then... I don't care how many buffs I give to this floor, because I am going to be killing them before they trigger any of them. And I am also going to be moving Bombabello to the front, so I can pretty comfortably just give all of it to you. Yeah. That'll do it. I mean, with the silence unit on the bottom line, I think all I really need to do this turn is Double Bloodthirsty Blade. And glow up to get Bomb Bellow at front. Yeah, unfortunately there's no world here where Bomb Bellow ends up taking an attack right now. Creating the next important question. How do I kill Bomb Bellow? Like, sure, I can Vine Grasp you for 30 damage twice this turn, but that's not gonna kill you. It'll hurt. Oh boy! Oh boy, will it hurt. But you'll survive. Un predicament. Whoop, there we go. Now we've got you exploding. Great news. Now, how much can I proliferate on you before you do? So far, so good. Noting this whole time I'm also proliferating additional sap on Seraphiternus. Tome of Evergrowth for Moral Mistress is especially good because of the dualism trigger of it all. Okay, great. Now, even if I gave you... You die even after that. So you're now going to be giving 56 spikes, 55 conduit, and 102 regen to this entire floor, which I'm sure they can do something with. Oh, absolute poetry. Yeah, that'll do it. Just adding 56 damage to both of the Animuses of Will is so much more damage added to the run. Actually, Seraphiternus is on full health. I think that's only because your regen must have been real high. Because you've got to have been taking... Oh, no. When you come down to the bottom line, when you previously come down to the bottom line, you'd also sap the entire floor by 10, so they all had 20 less damage, so you probably didn't really take any damage. I think the one I want to dupe here is the Dig Deep. Also, every time I consume a card on this floor, I deal 18 decay to Seraphiternus, so let's see how long I can get that going on. So Will, you can pop out and take a different weapon. Alright, so now you're taking 202 damage to decay at the end of the turn. Sorry, 606 damage to decay at the end of the turn. From your 202 decay, that is. Oh, beautiful. Got a second Unearthed Treasure in hand. I leave that for later so that I can dupe it next turn. There we are. Doesn't matter how much health the units have if they never leave the floor. I'm not going to dupe a Curse of Entropy into the deck. Almost did, though. Or almost tried. I don't suspect that would work. Coming down, Seraph. I've been meaning to have a word with you. Oh, if only I still had the etch triggers on the bottom line. Back Tome of Evergrowth again. The game does not like how many cards I click, but they are also giving a bunch of damage to my units when I click cards. Because each of the propagates is additional spikes, each of the spikes is additional damage. Alright, there you go, buddy. I think that might work. I do sometimes need that kind of like verbal processing, as I can like hear myself making the argument for or against something, so that I can hear it from the outside, hear it from someone else's perspective almost, and go, well, that's obviously dumb. If like, oh no, I don't want to mess with my my little sand pile. I don't want to risk creating a sand castle. What are you talking? What? You're scared of the castle? You know how fun it is? I don't either. I've never interacted with a castle, but I presume pretty cool, right? It's pretty big, quite old. Second Bombabella, great news. Oh, so many animuses of so many wills. Oh, actually, my bottom line. You know what? Moral Mistress goes down there now. I guess my AoE is now all done by Wildington. Hey, oh no, I didn't get a Bombabella on the bottom line. Oh my god, this opening hand is disgusting, though. I'm gonna summon so many troops with this hand. Oh boy. Okay, proliferate, 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 proliferate. Now, all of these proliferates are also adding shrooms to the field, which then adds decay to the enemies, which then also gets proliferated. So this is yeah, half of the health of savagery gone this turn. Oh, right. Also, the Moral Mistress. I forgot about the main source of our actual decay. I think I have enough copies of the Spell Chain Permafrost Unearthed Treasure that I can just spend this one comfortably. think I'm allowed to get another permanent copy of... Well. I never knew I could do that. Let's get Barmabello 2 on this line, so that if I do reach my Descend card, I'm ready to just go ridiculous mode. But I don't think I need all that damage scaling here. Actually, I just really need to amp the damage on Dominion. Literally everyone else is already dead, so I just dupe Highlight every turn now. Another beautiful turn of double Highlight. One more turn, I think. Good lord, please stop consuming all of the cards. One, two, and at end of turn, we did it! Woo! I think the ultimate lesson in this run is do not be scared to click cards. Do not. Clicking cards is only good. It can only make you stronger. GG. 18 damage taken, and that was a very, very fast final fight, 4-turn boss rush. So usually you can expect to take about double that. Gosh, Malika's Shifting Pyre. It feels like Malika's Shifting Pyre, and this is probably appropriate as well. Actually, there's just way more rare upgrades than there are base upgrades. So base upgrades that cost between 15 to 35 gold, right? There are 4 of them. 2 of them are related to your clan combination. So for Awoken, it would have been plus 10 health and 3 spikes. And for Underlegion, I think it's actually plus 10 spikes and, plus 10 spikes, plus 10 health and 10 regen. And then there's the Heartstone and Sharpstone, so plus 20 health and plus 14 damage. Those are the 4 base low-cost upgrades. And then, after that, there's Dualism, Endless, Mini Stone, Large Stone, Quick, Multi-Strike. There's more upgrades, right, that are of a higher level. So there are more good upgrades for the game to choose from when it is giving an upgrade to a card. Same for the Magic Store as well. which may be part of the reason that they are weighted so commonly as the upgrades that you get offered on those cards. But also, if it wasn't weighted so heavily in that direction, you might want it to be weighted heavily in that direction, because otherwise it starts to feel bad when it's like, yeah, great, all my cards are turning up with a bad upgrade on them that I don't care about. I'm never disappointed with Malika's Shifting Pyre. Even when it takes a card that I kind of want and turns it into a consume card or something like that. Okay, cool. It saved me so much money that I get to be very, very specific with my other upgrade on that card as well. Great run. New personal record of Rooted a Blind 167, up from 7. Let's head back to the outpost and get ready for the Dimensional Portal in the next episode, but until then, my name has been Rhapsody, the name of the game has been Monster Train 2. Top left is the series playlist for all my content of the game, past, present, and future. YouTube recommendations down below. Streaming past the names of the people so generously supporting the Republic on patreon.com/RhapsodyPlays. Out above the thank tin, a special thanks to this episode to Seamus. Hopefully you all have been enjoying yourselves, and hopefully we'll see you all next time.